What's up? And today I'm gonna briefly, very briefly talk about the very recent CW crossover event, Elseworlds. Yep, that is the name. Yeah, it's the third annual crossover event for CW. Last time it's Crisis on Earth X, the Nazi one, and I wasn't too happy with that. Even though there are high moments, there are also low moments in the crossover, in my opinion. It's four-parted as well, so it's a little more long-winded. And before that, we also have Invasion, and I didn't talk about Invasion. Yeah. Invasion's pretty good. But to be honest, I think I forgot half of what happened. But right now, I'm going to be talking about the new crossover, Elseworlds, and it is only three-parted because I believe Legends of Tomorrow is canceled, but I'm not too sure what's the reason behind. It would be great if any of you would fill me in. But now, anyway, let's talk about the first part of Elseworlds that takes place in the Flash. Oh yeah, by the way, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, basically we have all of these TV shows airing in CW, and they are based off of DC Comics. We have The Flash, Green Arrow, aka Arrow, and then we have Supergirl. Yeah. And we used to have Legends of Tomorrow, but now, no. So I didn't look forward to this crossover event, not really, because most of the previous Flash episodes are pretty underwhelming, pretty cringy, but surprisingly, I think the crossover is slightly entertaining, at least. And, yeah, the first part takes place in The Flash, and yeah, so at first it's kind of confusing at first. All right, yeah. So basically, Oliver Queen, aka the Green Arrow, woke up beside Iris, while in the same moment, Barry Allen, who used to be the Flash, is training in Green Arrow's base. And so basically, Arrow and the Flash had this little Freaky Friday thing where they switched bodies. And yeah, it's pretty interesting, pretty entertaining. I'm actually kind of impressed that the writers keep on coming up with ideas to, alter the characters so that the actors for all the CW DC shows can play multiple characters. And, what they did with, parallel universes, parallel timelines, and now alternated reality. The first half isn't too eventful, but in the second half, we sort of has this robot, super meta villain thing. Yeah. I don't really care for the robot at all because, I've already seen enough evil robots. Yeah, whatever. It's not terrible, but hey, it's still tolerable. And before they defeated the robot, they went to Earth 38 to look for Supergirl and Superman. Turns out, now Superman exists in the Supergirl TV show. It's like the writers cannot hold their desire back to add Superman into their TV show because he's just so cool. And now we have this grade B rip-off Johnny Cash looking nice guy Superman. And it sucks. I don't like this Superman at all. In fact, in the third part of the crossover, the actor for the Superman plays a villain, and he plays the villain way better than he does when he's playing friggin' nice guy Superman. Yeah, well, anyway, it's still pretty entertaining. Also pretty confusing as well. Yeah, so that's basically part 1. And then we have part 2, which takes place in Arrow. So, yeah, at that moment, I was still pretty confused at what's going on, because we have this Freaky Friday thing, we have this weird book thing, and then we have a villain, or maybe he's not a villain, this black guy, god, deity thing, he's called the Monitor, and it's just a really huge, confusing thing. And apparently, Supergirl knew that Oliver and Barry had switched bodies, but everyone on their Earth didn't know. So they wanted to find out why, and they found out apparently there's this crazy scientist whose name is John Deegan, and apparently the Monitor gave him the book, and because John Deegan is evil and crazy, so he made crazy changes. And yeah. First of all, I like how the show, the episode began. Instead of having Stephen Amell, saying the lines, narrating, doing the intro, we have Grant Gustin doing the intro as Oliver Queen. So that's actually pretty interesting. Pretty nice move as well. And then they actually went to Gotham City for the first time, and the way they portray Gotham City, I'm not gonna complain about it, because yeah, Gotham City is supposed to be this dark, filthy place where everyone is just kind of evil and crazy. But I guess they kind of overdid it a little bit. But thank God they didn't put Batman into this, or else it's gonna suck ass. But Batman's cousin is in the episode, and she is Batwoman apparently. Yeah. So basically, apparently John Deegan is in the Arkham Asylum, and they have to somehow find the book and find John Deegan. And they actually went into Arkham Asylum, and hell broke loose, and things got tense. And the action sequences are actually pretty interesting. Them being in Gotham City while Barry and Oliver's identity had swapped is also kind of interesting to see. What I'm really happy about in this episode is the way the episode ended. They found the book, and they found John Deegan for a very brief moment, until the Monitor jumped in on the action and reset everything. And then John Deegan altered the reality again and made it even worse. And a great cliffhanger as well. Part 2 is probably my favorite part, but then part 3 is my least favorite part, even though the last act of part 3 is actually, again, pretty entertaining, pretty tense, but still, the majority of the episode is not really that good, in my opinion. It takes place on Supergirl, and 6 minutes in, we get this feminism bullshit. Now, I have nothing against feminism. I want to just take a moment here and clarify that I totally 100% believe that men and women should have equal rights, but this TV show just can't stop making this men-woman comparison. And basically, in this reality, John Deegan became evil Superman, and all Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow's friends became his pawns. And then we have Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl in trouble, and Supergirl is in captive under John Deegan Superman. And again, I have to say, the actor for John Deegan Superman playing the villain is actually better than him playing the actual Superman. So there's that. But then 6 minutes in, we already have this you know, Kara Danvers, aka Supergirl, confronting the evil Superman. Well, if you want to be super, why can't you be me? Why do you have to be Superman? Are you afraid to be a woman? And then at the end of the episode, we get this another feminism thing where they have to clarify that women are better at making decisions than men. Okay, even if that is true, even if that is a fact, you don't have to say it in the TV show in order to make women stronger than men, because they're equal, and let's keep it that way, please. Aside from all the social justice stuff, the content of the episode itself is not terrible, but it leaves a bit to be desired. I have to say. First of all, again, the altered reality thing, it's interesting. Cisco Ramon as the mafia boss is actually pretty good as well, even though he's not a great actor or anything. At some point in the episode, he actually did like a Robert De Niro impression, a very subtle one. And I also want to complain about one thing. Actually, two things. One, the CGI. A lot of green screen and city model simulator thing, and it sucks. Okay, it sucks. When the nice Superman is fighting the bad Superman, it's like it's like it's a cartoon. It looks like a freaking cartoon. And again, we have this anti-physics thing where they don't obey the laws of physics at all. And one of the shot transitions between them fighting in the sky and them crashing into a building is such a rough and jarring transition. It's almost awkward. And then we also have this thing where the characters seem to not make sense. Like the mafia boss, Cisco Ramon. At first, he's very bossy, he's very mean, he's very arrogant, but then in the second half of the episode, he's just cool with everything, and he's basically a coward. And then for evil, what's her name again? Evil Alex. At first, she's really mean, she's really angry, and then all of a sudden, with the persuasive words from Kara Danvers, she became super kind and super loving and caring and touching, and I don't see this character development being realistic, because it basically took place within minutes. What? And also, minor spoiler alert, but in order to defeat evil John Deegan Superman, they actually needed Supergirl and the Flash to run around Earth in opposite directions and slow down the Earth, and which subsequently kills them. And they're throwing this cheap trick again, where oh wow, some characters may actually have to sacrifice themselves. It's so intense and suspenseful. Wow, it's such a cheap trick. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just such a cheap trick. And but the way the last fight happened was not bad. Was not bad. I just don't like the Supergirl part of the thing. The nerdy white hair Kryptonian Lois Lane looking like trash, and but all the other parts, like Arrow's part and Flash's part, part 3 is my least favorite. And at the end of the episode, John Deegan, still not dead, locked up in Arkham Asylum again, but then next to him, a cell, there's a guy with a golden mask on, and they're like, whoa, I have a plan. We're gonna destroy this world, finally. And I find that kind of stupid, because now we're gonna have to wait for another year. So apparently it took one whole year for John Deegan and that dude in the mask to plan for the world's destruction again. So, but still, I have to admit, the crossover thing overall is not that bad. And I'm actually kind of happy the writers clarified and showed us that Arrow and the Flash are meant to be very opposite of each other in terms of personality and character. I used to really, really hate the Flash for being overly lighthearted, optimistic, and cringy, a lot of cringy jokes. And I shamefully have to admit, I don't watch Arrow. I really want to watch it, but I don't have time. And apparently, it's meant to be like that. Because Arrow is meant to be really dark and really horrifying and tragic, while The Flash, even though there are tragic and emotional moments, it's meant to be way more lighthearted. Yeah, but still, I'm not saying it's great or anything. There are a lot of flaws, but yeah, this is basically my opinion on the crossover. What is yours? Leave a like if you like, and subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.
Show me your hands!